This is lesson 6, and what I'm going to try to do here, we're not going to attempt the roof yet. We're going to talk about strategies in a separate thing. But I want to finish the model logically. So there's a wall across here. If we look at the photos, right, that wall has some articulation on the outside, which I'm going to abbreviate, but it's basically there's a massive rectangular and vertical element at the front of the building, and that needs to be modeled. So I'm going to give it some thickness and go across the front, and it's got a flat roof that goes up to the rotunda area. So let's think about how we can abstractly deal with that. So here's the profile of the wall. There is the roof. My mouse is going along. There's the roof, and then the area from the roof top to the top of the wall there is what is called a parapet. So it's actually an integral part of the height of the wall. So let's take a quick measurement. Looks like we have 2.5 foot massive wall. It extends from the basement, but we're not concerned about the basement. So how can we manage that? By the way, I have to put the columns on their own layer as well. So here's one way to do this, to think about abstractly what that wall could be. Now, I'm using the arrow key to just sort of draw a rectangle on the red axis, perpendicular to the red axis, right? So this is, let's see if we can hold the shift key, hold that in position. So I want a wall. That thickness is about 4 feet. It's going to fit all of that. All right, think about what I'm doing here. I'm just really grossly guessing that, all right, this is going to fit all the articulation in the wall, but it's going to be a massive wall. And I'm going to move, extrude it across till we hit that edge. We can carve out the details of that wall afterwards. Let me triple click, make this a group, and let's create a layer for it. Wall, front, facade. And then move it to that walls. Facade. Now, technically, this floor slab meets that wall and has openings within it for these stairs below. So, double click that floor. Select the face there, and if we move that face in this direction, holding the shift key so that we snap to the inside edge of that wall, that's really what we have going on, right? These are abstractions. I can carve out that profile if it's important, but it isn't just yet. The basement floor slab is fine. Now we need the floor slab to represent this roof area over here. So it's going to have an irregular profile and plan, but I'm not concerned about that right now. Right? One thing I could do is simply take that floor slab and copy it. Why not? Select the Move tool, click in the direction of the blue axis, tap the Control key so we have a copy of it, lock that blue axis in place, and let's align it to approximately where the roof seems to intersect the outside wall. Right? If that is not, now remember, this is still, it's a solid group, it's in floor slab 1. We're going to have to create a layer called roof and reassign that, but we can use what's called linear component attributes to assign a z value to this thing. It's terribly convenient. The z value right now is 309 inches. Now, what is the z value that we'd like it to have? Well, let's measure from the ground plane to where the roof appears to end, about 32 feet. So how about if we select this guy, go back to window component attributes, and give it a value of 32 feet. It's going to convert to inches, but so what? Do you see how we are now effectively, we're making up this volume? I'm going to do an additional thing. I'm going to cut a building section. Now, clearly we have to subtract out the open area in here. There's several ways to do that. One of the ways is simply to subtract shapes from each other, solid subtractions, but let's ignore that for now. I'm going to cut a section through the building. Tool, section plane. This time, use my arrow key. I want it on the green axis. Right? So we clicked. Now I can take this section plane and move it through my building. This is terribly useful. You see what it's doing is generating a view of the inside of the building. Right? If we want a perfect cross section through the middle, we go through the center over here. But think of how useful this will be once we have the stairs in place, the opening for the stairs. We've subtracted out the opening for the rotunda from this roof element. It's terribly important to conduct these organizational steps, if you will, is setting up your model. So I'm going to save this as lesson 6 and call it meaningful sections. Hope you're enjoying this. Oh, before we go, save it as a scene. Section through building 1. Now that's an isometric view, ISO. But if we right click and say align view, look at what a beautiful drawing we've got there. A roof that looks like it's going to collide with a wall opening, so we're going to have to adjust that. A little bit high. That's what's great about the section. It reveals stuff that you can make adjustments for afterwards. But for now, we're going to ignore it. And let's add a scene and call it section 3 building. Orthographic. And I'm going to save this file. So labs, lesson 6. And then I'll post this as lesson to YouTube as lesson 6. And put a note on it.